Recording started. So guys, lesson. No, my English left the chat basically. So I was going to say today is what, lesson number 8 or 9? Which one is it? Lesson number 8? Right, lesson number 8. So yes. Today we'll do reading passage 1 and 3, right? Reading passage 1 and 3 according to the what plan. That's what it is. I looked at the plan and the plan says so. Lesson number 7, 8, passages 3 and 1. All right. So guys, we're gonna do March 9 passage 1. We're gonna do March 9 passage 1 that was given in Uzbekistan. And then passage 3 as well. All right, let's see. Well, when you do a passage with many types of questions, that like in what sense many? That's not typical of passage 1. That's usually difficult. You see, this passage 1 is, I'm sure, was surprising in many ways to students because it has 3 types of questions. Usually in passage 1 you have 2 types of questions, and then you don't have normal types of questions. In passage 1 you usually have true, false, not given, and then notes completion questions, right? But they had like sentence completion, then matching features, then multiple choice. I'm sure for students it must have been difficult a little bit because that must have been quite unexpected, right? Just a second. Participant has set the caption language to English. Yeah, it's quite strange, but yeah, that's what we're gonna deal with. All right, you know, test doesn't always have to be the same. Because I don't know what the text is going to be about, let me first of all read, because there's no title. There's no title before you go to the questions, guys. You need to first of all read to get a sense of. People living in typical urban environment experience wide range of sounds. All right. And on a daily basis, in its guidelines, World Health Organization, worldwide noise-induced hearing impairment is the most prevalent irreversible occupational hazard, and it's estimated that 120 million people worldwide now have disabling heart hearing difficulties. All right, so it's going to be about hearing. All right, so that's it. I have a sense of what I'm reading about, so I can start. Experts consider noise levels, if they go above, like harmful, if they go above, right? So I'm going to start reading them. All right. Okay, Zozobono. Did you do it, or did you what? Can you, or what, did you take the test? Maybe. All right. Children with dulled hearing may eventually have trouble distinguishing some type of sounds. We need adjective here. Early research into physical effects other than hearing problems revealed that adults may suffer from something if exposed to noise. All right. Adults may suffer from something. Even adults. Some European cities are creating something in order to help government develop noise policies. So we have this list of organizations and people. So we need to find who said what. A significant proportion of American children have suffered from significant proportion of American children. Noise in environments can affect the kind of lifestyle we have. It could affect our lifestyle. American companies expected to protect workers from what? Authorities should increase funding for noise pollution research. Authorities should increase funding for noise pollution research. Authorities should increase. Permanent hearing loss caused by is the most commonly occurring danger in the global workplace today. And workers in certain occupations have high rates of hearing damage. High rates of hearing damage. Train truck study, I think that's clear. Train truck study. And then there is also, according to the best European countries, are examining how noise level will be affected. Will be affected. Come on, will be affected by, and which of the following is the most suitable? I mean, that's too difficult for passage one, honestly, guys. I mean, it's really difficult for passage one. Why it's difficult for passage one? I mean, giving this in the passage one is usually not common. I think it's much better to have two types of questions rather than three. Overall, I'm sure from the, I don't know how the text will be reading, but overall, so far, it's giving me the impression that it's it's difficult, or it's been difficult. Let's see how it's actually going to turn out to be. All right. Um, well, let's see what happens. I mean, I haven't done it myself. So, guys, I think we already found the answer though. But I think question number 9, we already found the answer, because here it says in the World Health Organization, worldwide, noise-induced hearing impairment is the most irreversible occupational hazard, right? Occupational hazard, that means related to workplace. So, right? And that 9, right? Worldwide is synonym for, all right, worldwide is synonym for in the global workplace. So 9, it's going to be what? For 9, you're going to put A immediately. They didn't talk about experts. We're going to continue. Did you see why 9 is A? Did you see why 9 is A? The growing noise pollution. Can you explain again? Well, worldwide is synonym for global work, like global. Hearing impairment is synonym for hearing loss. Most prevalent is synonym for most commonly occurring. So that's synonym. That's why it's A. All right. The growing noise pollution problem has many different sources. Booming population growth and the loss of rural land to urban sprawl both play a role. Other factors include the inability of authorities in many parts of the world to implement noise reducing legislation. O ko'p faktorlar sababchi bo'lyapti deyapti. Misol uchun loss of rural land, keyin shu bilan birgalikda hukumatlar qaror chiqara olmayapti. Electronic nature of our age, which encourages many noisy gadgets, the rising number of vehicles on streets and busier airports. Bu paragraf ko'p faktorlar noisega nima sabab bo'ldi? Hech qaysi javob yo'q hozircha menimcha. Right? Davom etamiz. Sound intensity is measured. Sound intensity is measured in decibels. I hopefully am pronouncing correctly. The unit A weighted decibel is used to indicate how humans hear a given sound. 0 decibels is considered the point at which a person begins to hear a sound. A softer whisper, a busy freeway is around a chainsaw this much. All right. Mark Stephenson, a senior researcher. Do we have Mark Stephenson? No. At this institute says NIOSH, but we do have NIOSH. His agency's definition of hazardous noise is that the one that exceeds 85 decibels. I think that's the answer. For question number 1 is going to be what? If they go above 85 dBA. All right. So exceed is synonym for go above. Right? Now I'm gonna have to read this because there are meaning average noise exposure measured over a typical 8 work day. Significantly have suffered from hearing loss? No. Noise can affect the kinds of lifestyle we have? No. American companies expected to protect? No. Authorities should increase funding? No. Hearing damage. Do we have anything? No. You see, again, you need to make it a habit. Every time you have one of the like names, you need to look at all of them. All right, you need to look at all of them. That's a must. All right. So in the United States, about 30 million workers are exposed to hazardous sound levels on the job, according to NIOSH. All right. Noise in the US industry is extremely difficult problem to monitor, acknowledges Craig Mayleton. That's another person we have. An industrial hygienist, OSHA. And he says, OSHA does require that any employer with staff overexposed to noise safeguard those employees against All right, we have answers, two answers, I guess. We have two answers. All right, 7 is going to be C. OSHA requires that any employee with staff. Safeguard means protect. All right. Against overexposed, exposed. All right, so the 7 is going to be definitely C. All right. 7 is going to be what? C. Do you guys understand why 7 is C? Did you understand? All right, so in the United States, it could be 10, could be B. I like to think so because of New York here, but here workers are exposed to hazards on the job, but they don't tell us certain jobs. So for the time being, I'm going to choose B. But if there is anything more convincing that comes across, I might be able to choose, choose another answer, change my mind. Ana exposed to hazardous level. Amerikada 30 milliondan ko'p odam, 30 millioncha odam yuqori darajadagi noise ga exposed ekan. Have high rates degani endi 30 million bo'lishi mumkin, lekin agar yaxshiroq javob chiqsa, fikrimizni o'zgartirishga tayyor bo'lib turishimiz kerak. 7 aniq C lekin. For many people in the United States, noise has drastically affected the quality of their lives, says Ireland, blah, blah, blah. We have that person. Chair of Noise Committee in New York Council, psychologist who has done pioneering research, right? Right, let's go. Into the children's reading ability. My daughter lives near airport in the New York City, and she cannot open a window, enjoy her backyard in the summer because of airplane noise. Okay, bratni gapidan bironta gap chiqadimi? Mani qizi, bu brat qizi New Yorkda aeroportida yashar ekan, shu uchun oynasini ocha olmas ekan. Well, I guess could be, right? Could be, yes. 6D. I like to think so too. 6D. Let's choose. I mean, honestly, not overly difficult passage, despite the fact that there are many. Dual hearing degan haqida ham gap kelgani yo'q. Boshqa narsa ham kelgani yo'q hozircha. Shuning uchun o'qishda davom etaverasiz. Right? So the United States is not the only country where noise pollution is affecting the quality of life. In Japan, noise pollution caused by public loudspeaker announcements and other forms of city noise has forced many Tokyo citizens to wear earplugs as they go about their daily lives. All right. In Europe, about 65% of the population is exposed to ambient sound levels, while 70% is exposed to this, according to European Environment Agency. All right, do we have anything about European? Nothing about anything, so we're going to move on. Nothing, right? So numerous scientific studies over the years have confirmed that exposure to certain levels of sound can damage hearing. Newer studies from the mid to show that 90% of coal miners have hearing impairment by age compared to 9% of the general population. All right, now it's D. All right, Mamba javob. Mamba javob 10 mana shu joydan kelib B bo'lgan. Boya yuqoridagi javob borku. Endi mana shu joydan 10 ni yosh degan javob endi B bo'ladi, lekin mana bu joydan emas javob. O'zi bilsak ham bo'lardi, sababi to'g'ri javobni tanlaganimiz, qarang, har biriga sinonim bor-da endi. Endi har biriga sinonim bor, chunki coal miners certain occupations ga sinonim bo'ladi. Rates esa mana bu foiz borku, foiz. 90% degani rate ga sinonim bo'ladi. Shu uchun endi aniq belgilasak bo'ladi. New York research has also what? Also reveals by age 25, the average carpenter's hearing is equivalent to a 5-year-old male who hasn't been exposed to. Again, the question is, what is the question? Is it usual if the age will be numbers? I mean, rates, I think could be. Rates usually proportion. In 2001, researchers from the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, right, reported that based on all audiometric testing of children, estimated American children have noise-induced thresholds or dulled hearing in one or both ears. We have two answers here. We have two answers. Most children have unlimited, but continued exposure can lead to difficulties with high frequency sound discrimination. Okay, we have answer. What's the answer for question number 2? All right, they have difficulties with high frequency sound discrimination. So you need to write distinguishing high frequency, right? You need to write what? High frequency. Distinguishing is synonym for discrimination. And there's one more answer. That's 5 is going to be E, because based on this many 12 Americans have hearing threshold difficulties. So that's going to be which one? That's going to be 5. 5 is going to be what? E. So we're going to continue. I know it's overly long too. The effects of sound won't stop with the ears. All right. What else? The non-auditory effects of noise were noted as far back as this when study published by E.L. Smith and G.L. Liard. Okay, that's question number, guys. That's question number 3 in the journal. The results show that exposure to noise caused stomach problems in healthy human beings. What's the answer for question number 3? Question number 3. How did I know that's the relevant location, guys? How did I know that's the relevant location? Oh, that's because of early, as far back as 1930. Okay, that means early research, right? Early here is like here, right? And study means research. But you guys are writing suffer from, it's already written problems that reveal that loss may suffer from stock. I think it should be stomach problems, right? Stomach problems, because there's nothing as about stomach ache. You just need to write stomach problems. Why you guys are writing only stomach though? Why? Stomach yozilsa xato bo'ladimi? Agar mana chiqmay qolaylik o'qib ko'ring. Early research. Bo'lmasa mana chiqmaydi. No, 2 words yozilgan. All right. Noise has also been shown. Noise, all right. Noise also been shown to affect learning ability. In 19, Bronsgaard collaborated on a study of children in school near a train track that showed how exposure to noise affects reading ability. Half the students in the study were in classrooms facing the train track. The other half were in quieter section. The findings were that on the quieter side performed better. Qisqasi oddiygina gap. Mana bizada 11 savol javob keldi. Temir yo'l tomondagilardan ko'ra tinch tomondagilar ko'proq ball olibdi o'qishda. To'xtang, endi keyin nima bo'libdi? Hali javobi kelmabdi. The School principal persuaded the school board to have acoustical tiles installed in the classrooms adjacent to the tracks. Keyin direktorni ko'ndiribdi. Maktab direktor bilan birgalikda mana brat ko'ndiribdi. Nima deb ko'ndiribdi? Kelinglar, shunaqangi kafel qo'yaylikki, kafel shovqin o'tkazmasin. Bunda javob nima bo'ladi? Ora javob nima bo'ldi shunda? B, D hamma har xil javob topyapti-ku. B javob xato Ozodbek. Ko'rinib turibdi. B vohid B javob xato. B javobda trackga anaqa qilinmagan-ku. Temir yo'l vokzalini buzib tashlagan, nima qilgan? Alright, sizda javobingizda trackni, boyagi yo'lni, temir yo'lni buzib tashlagan deyapsiz. Yo'da temir yo'lni buzmagan, naborat maktabga qurilish qilgan. Alright? Javob D bo'ladi. Mana aytayapti-ku. Keyinchalik ish olib bordi. Maqsad nima edi? Lekin shu gapingiz ham to'g'ri bo'lishi mumkin ekan. To'xtang. Alright. Why am I too tired, huh? Hope the transit authority undertook work on the track near the school in order to reduce noise levels. The amount of traffic on the road. D xato. D xato ekan, naborat teskarisi ekan. Alright? Teskari. Alright. Javob B bo'ladi. Right? Yes. Alright. Bizada Vohid bilan Ozodbek to'g'ri topdilar. Alright. So too tiring, huh? A follow-up study found that children's reading scores improved after these. And anti-noise activists say that Europe and several countries in Asia are more advanced than the United States in terms of combating noise. All right, noise bilan kurashadiganlar kuchliroq ekan. Hope. Population pressure has promoted Europe to move more quickly on the noise issue, says Ken Hume, a principal lecturer in human psychology at the Manchester Metropolitan University in England. European cities with at least this many people are developing noise maps of those cities to help leaders determine noise pollution strategies. Paris has already prepared its first noise maps. The map data will be fed into computer models that will help the test out of impact new road layouts building before construction begins. Well, brings my some Europeans are creating something, to help. What are they creating? They're creating maps, right? Map deposit xato bo'ladi. Javob maps yozdi. Yozilgan. All right, so the answer is going to be 4 is going to be what? Developing degan so'z creating synonym bo'ladi. Keyin bizda yana bitta savol bor. Savolimiz qaysi? 12-chi savolda ham bor. O'n ikkinchi savol javobi nima bo'ladi? Mana bundan olinganda bitta bir kishi xato yozdi. Menimcha hozir javobni xato yozganlar bor. Nima bo'ladi javob? 2 kishi yozdi hozircha. Ko'rsatgan javobga qarasangiz javob bor. C bo'ladi, C. Mana impact of new road layouts buildings before construction begins degani street designga synonym bo'ladi. right? C degani street design degani mana shu so'zlar bo'ladi. Xo'p, 12 savol, 4 savolda nima noise maps mas? Some European cities are creating maps in order to help governments develop noise policies. Noise maps in order to, I think noise maps nabara to'g'riroq bo'ladi. All right. Xo'p, keyingisi oxirgisi emas, yana bitta savol qolib ketgandi menimcha bizada. Bronze stress the government worldwide need to direct more financial resources. degan bizada bitta savol ham bor edi shunaqa. Nechinchi savol bor edi? 8-chi savol. Towards the effects of noise degan savol, mana 8-chi savol. Financial resources degani nimaga sinonim bo'ladi? 8 bu D ga sinonim bo'ladi. Ikkita D chiqdi aytganida. And do a better job of coordinating their noise pollution efforts so they can establish health and environmental based scientific research. Ho'p, endi 8-chi savoldan tushundimmi nima uchun? Direct more financial resources degani increase funding degani. More degani increase ga sinonim bo'ladi. Funding degani financial resources bo'ladi. Research degani studies ga sinonim bo'ladi, hamma narsa sinonim. Xo'p, endi oxirida bizada bu savol turi odatda oson savol turi va qiyin bo'lmaydi. Qachonki javoblarni chiqarib tashlaysiz. Javoblarni chiqarib tashlasak nima bo'ladi? Bo'ldi, javob aniq bo'lib qoldi. D hamma ko'pchilik to'g'ri tanlayapti. Xo'p, nima uchun? Qarang. Bu ishga ta'siri haqida yo'q gap. Ishchini, to'g'rimi? Shaharlar haqida emas edi. Education haqida emas edi. Living in a noisy world tushadi. Menimcha hammasi oydin bo'ldi. I mean, it's not that difficult though. I mean, it's typical passage one, right? It's not that difficult. It's typical passage one. Typical in what way typical? Not in terms of question types, typical in terms of difficulty. I mean, everything is clear, everything is paraphrased. You just need to find the right location and then choose the right answer. But other than that, I don't think it makes it particularly more difficult than any passage one, if you ask me. All right, can we move on to passage 3? No, we're not. We are skipping table creation, guys. All right. I'll create it and send it to you. I mean, at this point, they're easy, right, for you. But you need to get into the habit of creating them. I think that way you see synonyms better. You see synonyms better. Give me a second. Let me drink water.